blundering while leading our attack. As I do, I love to sing while driving my hunchback. I love to fight in city squares, towing all I see. And when the enemy appears, how happy I will be. Kills for me, look for all, kills for me, and think of all the combat salvage kills for me. Look for all, please come find my hunchback. When 100 tonners threatened me and tried to strike me down, they soon find I will not flee auto cannon rounds. Kills for me, look for all, kills for me, and think of all the combat salvage kills for me, look for all, please come find my hunchback. I fought my share of enemies and never once in fear. The auto cannon speaks for me, and then they disappear. So bring your best mechs down to me, your pilots I will burn. And when you run away from here, here's hoping you will learn. Kills for me, look for all, kills for me. Salvage kills for me, look for all, please come find my hunchback. The hunchback is a doctrine choice, and if you think that's wrong, then why is it you're listening to our own marching song? Kills for me, for all, kills for me, and think of all the combat salvage kills for me, and look for all, please come find my hunchback.
I, the stormiest of songs, and I am here to actually give some music lessons. Joining me is Andy Van, my experimental student that sits as a representation of you, the audience. Well, that's a good, start off for music. Um, but yeah, hey there, folks. So this is a new show. So note that we may not have much of a format yet, but basically I'm going to be going over the basics of music theory, songwriting, etc. We'll do sometimes it'll be teaching, sometimes it'll be songwriting, sometimes it will be this and that. I'll have other musicians from the Legion on. Apparently, Ginger Bitters had a very similar idea, so she also will be starting a music show soon of some kind. Maybe a radio show. She's still debating that. But yeah, so Andy here was interested in learning how to do songification. I can word good. So
Hopefully I can pay attention well enough.
Yep. You're able to see the stream, Andy?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm gonna start with what I always tell my students. We always start, of course, by saving the project. It's in the right location here because as so I always date my projects, and this is just something that helps me keep track of things. So that way, if I'm can't remember the name of a project, then I am able to find it by remembering when I worked on it. So we'll call this WBPL 76 Project 1 version. Thanks, Duck. So let's see. We are going to start with the basics. Andy, do you understand the concept of Ionian and Locrian mode?
Nope.
Let me rephrase that. Do you understand what a major or a minor key is?
I'll be honest, no.
Okay. So, I'll animate this, well, here. So, in music, you have what are called intervals. Now, within an octave, from, let's say, from C4 to C5, you're going to have 12 intervals. So that is all 12 intervals plus the octave. Actually, I accidentally added one, so. Now, you're not going to use that many neighboring tones. So let's duplicate that. And we are going to do the thing again. This time we're going to erase certain notes. But then if we do this, notice how that suddenly sounds like it's in a key of some kind, right?
Yeah.
So that is major key. And major key is defined by the number of intervals being essentially your first three notes are going to have a full step, which is 2 half steps or 2 intervals between them. And then from your second to your third will again be that. But then your fourth will only be a half step, then whole step, whole step, whole step, half step. So that's the general shape of a major key. And it's going to be that shape no matter where I start it off of. So like if I start it from C here, or if I start it from D here, or E here. So even though it was higher pitch, it had the same completion, right? So this is the key that most stuff like the Star Wars main theme are going to be. Oh, is the audience not hearing anything? Interesting. Audience, can you hear this? Let me know, audience, if you can hear that. Okay, there we go. So yeah, just to review for the audience, since I did a silly and was not audible. So again, these are the 12 steps within a key plus the octave. But you don't write music like that typically. So that's going to be your major key. Now the minor key is going to be a little different. Rather than whole step, half step, whole step, half step, it's going to be whole step, half step, whole step, half step, whole step, whole step. And that is going to sound more like... And that, you notice how it's suddenly not as happy sounding, not as bright sounding, right? So major. How those sound kind of different, right? Minor key is darker, and it's what you're going to be writing stuff like the Imperial March in, or the Jedi theme. So dun 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 na 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 na. That's going to be minor key, whereas da 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 dun 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 dun. That's going to be the major version of the same key. It appears Ralphie has opinions about B flat major and E flat major. I'm not going to deny those; they're good keys. But you're following along, yes, Andy?
I think so.
Okay, so we're just going to use that as a starting base for now. We can even go into Phrygian at some point, but that I'm going to save for later. So here we have, like I said, major and minor. So for the Gits and Shiggles, do you want to start with a major key song or a minor key song?
Let's try the minor.
Okay. For the sake of ease, I'm going to go to A minor. The reason I'm going to A minor is that there are no sharps or flats, so it's going to be all the normal keys and not the flattened or sharpened keys. Like so. So we're in minor. Okay. Now, in minor key, we're going... Well, in any key that we're going to form the song of two components. Well, technically four. A song is comprised of rhythm, so, you know, the beat, the tempo. Yes, Ralphie, you are correct. C major and A minor are relative to, so they're going to be essentially in the same key, but starting at different locations. So in music, you have rhythm, melody, chord progression, and then dynamics. Those are going to be the four things that any song is comprised of. So we're going to go over chord progression first. If I play a note here, you know, that's the A, right? Sounds like an A. But let's add an E to it. So that suddenly has more richness to it. Let's add that C. Feels big. Let's add the A above it. This is how a chord is formed. This is multiple notes being played at the same time. Now, let's reposition that C. Let's say the C is up here. Suddenly it breathes more. It has more shape. But let's get Trixie. Well, no, let's not get Trixie yet. Let's just keep it to that for the moment. So let's do a second chord. And we're going to go to E here. Notice how now we have melodic or semi-melodic motion. You following?
Yes.
Okay. So the A chord is defined by its relative third, which is C, and its relative fifth, which is E. The moment you have those together, you know what chord you're in. If I remove the E, and all you have is the A and C, that could be the A chord, if the E was there. But if there's no E there, it could actually be implied to be the F chord, because A and C are the relative thirds and fifths. But I remove that, and it becomes A again, with the implied E. Hey, Diggs! So, that is essentially a chord structure. I'm going to erase our minor key here, as our go-to is that. So, I'm going to show you a kind of basic chord structure that I tend to use. Go from that to that. And solve that. Okay. So we're going to go A, G, F, E. And actually, let's slow this down a bit, just for the sake of following. Now, I did these in kind of a fancy arrangement to make it sound good. But if I was anchoring the notes on the actual chord's anchor, that would be there, and that would be there. So there you see the actual chords. And you notice those chords, those are fifths. So they are always the same number of distance from each other. But what makes these chords technically different do you notice a difference between this chord and this chord apart from being different notes, Andy?
The distance between the second note and the other notes.
Yes, so you spotted it. The what would you call it? The third note of the entire thing is 3 half steps versus 4 half steps, or essentially 1.5 whole steps versus 2 whole steps. If it's only the 2 steps right here like this, that's a minor chord. But if it's 3 steps like this, or an interval of 4 half steps, it's a major chord. In music, you are off, even if you're in minor key versus major key, you're still going to have major chords. And if you're in major key, you're still going to have minor chords. Now, let's say I made these minor regardless of their, placement in them. Notice how it got really dark suddenly. Versus kind of more majestic. And this is stuff that, you'll absorb several times before you really... So I don't want anyone to feel too lost here. After all, these episodes are going to be recorded, and you can pick them up and try them again later. So that first one you would use for, like, the Jedi theme. Dun, 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 dun. Versus this one, which you're going to use for, like, a Dark Souls boss. So that is basic minor key chord structure. And again, very basic. We are starting way at the basics here. Now, that chord structure only exists really to support the melody. So let's create a melody first. What kind of melody should we create, Andy?
I don't know.
Okay. Well, for the sake of argument, let's do the aforementioned song Binary Sunsets, which is often thought of as the Jedi theme for Star Wars. Hey, Mad Ducks. We is doing music theory. What do I get if I push a piano down a mine shaft? Oh, wait. A flattened minor. Ha ha ha! Yep. That's a music theory joke. Ooh, I went a little too quick. We'll get to arpeggios once the student is ready, Madness. Or that is too powerful for him.
Through your scientific know-how, you've mastered the arpeggio.
Yep, you've heard the term before. Well, I actually will go over an arpeggio here in a second.
I only know that through Dexter's lab. You know, I did take some music classes in high school, but it was for tuba. Or the French horn, I guess, which was at the time. You don't have a lot to do when you're using the French horn.
Dun, 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 dun.
Now, when I think steps, I think, if I remember correctly, it's when your foot's going up and down. You're tapping your feet, and when your feet hits the floor and hits the top, that's like a half or something like that. I'm trying to remember. Like, da, da, da,
Oh,
da, da.
you're thinking that's not steps, that's beats.
Yeah.
And in fact, we could turn on our metronome. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, yeah, so I'm second guessing myself. Because there are different arrangements of this song based on whether you want it to sound like a march or a ballad. What did you do on stage? Okay, so we'll go with that portion of the melody for now. Dun, 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 na, 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 na. Right. So we have our melody, so let's add some chords, such as the progression I showed you earlier. So we first have our bass line. But you notice how earlier I had mentioned how, like, the F chord could contain the A as well? Let's put that there. Or rather, let's show it without it, right? Because we get... But that adds a finality, so let's add some extension. Actually, no, we're going to suspend that.
To understand exactly how what is the construction of a chord, or like
Yeah.
it almost feels like that the second part of a chord, like the secondary part of, I guess, the chord is leading the overall note in a different path or something like that.
No, that is actually exactly it. Because let's say, because A and A here, these are octave to each other. If I add that E there, right? That sounds like an A chord. But the F chord sounds like a question. It doesn't sound like a resolution. Versus the A chord, which is a resolution. Which is why you'll notice when I repeat A over here, I add the F so that it's keeping the question going, the song continuing. So you are exactly right. The chord dictates the exact shape of the melodic line. Because
I mean, when it comes to like this describing chords as an expressionism, like this is very new to me. So I'm just like,
oh yeah, and
you might as well be teaching me a new language almost at this point. Like,
oh yeah,
like an inflection.
Yeah, you are a kindergartner. That this is very much a language.
And I'm 41, Storm. I'm too old to be learning new shit.
And mostly we're here to have fun. If you learn something and that's incidental, it's, cool. And if you don't learn anything, we're still having fun and I'm showing you things. So, let's see there. But let's use another example. Because let's say that seventh that I'm using there, that is ever so slightly, that's just too dark. Whereas if we keep it there and as a seventh, it carries that kind of somber tone that Binary Sunsets has. Oh, that's what I'm doing. There we go. But, as I showed earlier, a chord can actually be comprised of 3 notes, so... Yeah, Ralphie brings up a point. Music is a mathematical language, and many universities will treat it as such for requirements. So now we're going to show you one of the trixier tricks that one can do. This first time that we hit the E chord, because there are two instances of the E chord. See. But this time, let us, instead of chording it with the G, sharpen the G. Suddenly notice how that goes from the sort of darker to the brighter. Giving it a more transitional feel.
There you go.
Yep. Orc Slayer's redeemed water break. Okay, so there we have the complete melody. What the hell is Whacker sending me? No, Whacker, not right now. You silly boo. So let's continue our chord structures here. Ooh, too bright. Wait, what did I do there? What did I do? Ooh, I know what I did wrong. That's an interesting song. There we go. So I'm going to use an unusual chord here now. No, I'm not going to use an unusual. We'll go into that later.
Ginger Bitters is on.
Hey, Ginger. Feel free to jump in if you want, Ginger. I'm showing the basics of chord structure here.
It's good to have someone else who knows what the hell's going on.
All. Understandable. Okay. So, before we move on, I am going to show you... Yep, this is Binary Sunsets by John Williams. So, let's listen to the whole piece here now. This is understandable. I scored it from memory. I learned how to write music starting by impersonating John Williams and Hans Zimmer and Nobuo Uematsu, my 3 touchstones. Later, Thomas Alpainen, and then going back and kind of learning Beethoven, and that I have a lot of influence. The more dramatic, the better. So, I will now show you, Andy, what is meant by that joke from Dexter's Lab about the arpeggio. You're going to see that I am breaking this chord up as if there were multiple notes within the chord, not the melody. Because that is essentially what an arpeggio is.
You know anything from Randy Newman?
I don't believe I do. I never got really into Randy. But not like I dislike him or anything, I just don't really know his work that well.
I got you. Who was that character in the Nexus Lab that was supposed to be based off of?
I know who you're talking about, yeah. So we're gonna get to this chord here. That was an arpeggio. So that motion within the chord. So let's say we repeated that across these sections.
Mad Ducks, did you have a little sister that blew up your lad too?
I doubt that. I feel like Mad Ducks blew up his own lab. So you notice how that adds a bit of tension, but also melodic motion at the same time.
Well, I'd almost say it makes it, no disrespect, but almost makes it messy.
Yep, and that's why you
Like
would
there's-
not necessarily do this all on piano.
It's almost like there's too much going on, you know?
Yep, and do you know how we fix that?
Less is more sometimes.
Sometimes. Sometimes the real trick is spacing things out. Notice how making the bassy part quieter and then bringing the melody up an octave gave them more space. Part of what the problem you were hearing there is everything was too constricted. Do the D in ducks stand for duck? Possibly. Duck, duck. So here we're running into an actual scientific issue, which is that bass notes, or the lower a note is, Andy, the more powerful its wave is. So overall, it doesn't matter if it's at the same volume, it's going to overpower when there's enough of it. So notice how it suddenly breathes better when I bring the bass down. Now, we're going to get into the fun part. That's all on grand piano. Let's choose a silly instrument. Come to me, Citrus, you bitch. You still there, Andy?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Just making sure your internet didn't explode again.
No, I'm trying to like I'm trying to listen to it and get a feel for it,
Yeah.
which is probably not the best way to learn, but it's like,
People learn in different ways. Let us go through. Trying to choose a specific.
I don't like that one. Oh God, you got so many of these boards up. My head hurts.
Yeah, don't pay attention to the boards. I'm just picking instruments now.
All right. So, have you played the Portal games?
Yeah.
Relevant. At the end of the games, they usually have the little turrets singing music on. This almost makes me think of like some of the droids just like having a band session with their little beeps and boop.
Yeah.
Coyote 16
What were you
pointing
saying?
out that Coyote 16 says it's always amazed me how much instrumental choices and even timing can change a song from classical to modern background sci-fi.
Oh, yeah.
And I was going to say there's probably very little between like heavy metal or guitar shredding and a lot of the stuff that like Beethoven and Bach were doing. Like,
Oh, yeah, there's a
like
saying
a
in
lot of
metal that Beethoven was the first metalhead.
yeah, a lot of from what I understand, a lot of metalheads would study Beethoven.
Yeah, or Paganini, especially Yngwie. Oh, Super Chief has it. Yeah, Yngwie was a big fan of the violinist Paganini, um, and things like that, and would very much put that style into. It's called neoclassicalism, trying to bring that style back into rock. Yeah.
Mad Duck says,
No, read it.
Mad Duck's asking, tell them how many people have been inspired by Gustav Holst, and then how many people were inspired by people that were inspired by Holst.
Yeah, so like the example of this, Gustav Holst did a song called Mars Bringer of War, which many of you probably know, which the famous line of which most people will know is dun dun da 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 dun 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 da 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 dun 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 da 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 dun 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 dun. Right. So you knew it as soon as I started singing it.
Well, here's the thing. When I hear that, I instantly think of Bowser's ship levels from
Yep.
Super Mario 3.
Yep.
It's like it's almost like par for par.
Oh, it is a lot of the
Nintendo,
early.
you filthy thieving bitch.
Yeah, yeah. Gustav Holst's The Planets are hugely inspirational. So then let's say you ever watch Gladiator. Oh, we'll
be done at the same time.
Something like that.
You know, you almost did like Pirates of the Caribbean, but I think I remember it from like Independence Day. I'm trying to remember.
Yeah, well, and Pirates of the Caribbean was also Hans Zimmer. It's at least no, Hans Zimmer took over later, but a lot of times soundtrack composers will essentially plagiarize themselves because you have to make the rent check, and writing a soundtrack is quick, dirty work.
Da 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 boom, and then whatever explodes.
Yeah. And yeah, that's a very common music refrain for us because it's just so bloody effective.
Huh. Think of a Kirby level.
What?
Oh, I just felt like like Kirby or something like that. Like it had a very much like Starfield, not like Starfield like out in a space, but like
the game Starfield?
kind of like no, it's like basically a side scroller Nintendo game at nighttime.
Oh yeah, yeah. This is much standard video game writing right here. Especially once polyphony was more available in video games, because there came a point where you couldn't really do much in the way of large chordal structures in video game music because there wasn't enough channels. So let's hear what I've made now.
I remember talking to you about a lot of music and themes kind of like give you an impression of almost like an environment.
Yep.
There's almost the same way to play things for like a snow environment or a water environment, you know?
Yep. So now we are going to lower the volume of that. Yeah, this would definitely be a very oceanic or kind of vastness of space kind of version. And there is some intention behind that, because we're going to take a bio break here. And we're going to... sorry. Oh yeah, so we're going to take a quick bio break here, and then when we come back, we're going to set this aside, because obviously I was just doing this for teaching purposes, but we're not going to go and publish, a Star Wars theme all over again. No, when we come back, we're going to kind of move on from the lesson portion of this and just sort of the songwriting for the Gets and Shiggles, and we're going to start on a theme for Shoal by Lady Red. So, I will be right back in about 5 minutes.
Time to make some coffee, folks!
Aw, yeah. I return. Are you there, Andy? Okay, so he's still great. We're going to start a new project here. That one. Save. Same thing. Coyote talking about Pachelbel's canon in D, and poor Mad Ducks is having flashbacks. Oh god, yeah. Coyote, the cello for Pachelbel's canon is just boring. Dun, dun,
You know,
dun,
if we did a
dun.
if we did a like BPL orchestra band, I would go ahead and take up the tuba or French horn again because hey, Crispy.
What's up, Chris? Malicious one. Hi, you are here. Yep.
Yeah.
We have just finished up sort of the lesson portion of the show and are moving on to just general songwriting. So we're kind of
Just like regular school, I can't remember a fucking thing he said.
I missed class, so
Yep. Well, you're both getting the dunce cap then.
Oh
That's
boy, I
okay.
can use it as a trumpet.
God, we're such cartoons. Speaking of cartoons, Crispy, I am going to ask you to draw something for this show.
Mhm.
You know the old cartoons where you have like the professor character where they're dressed in the kind of the laureate outfit with the academic cap on and everything?
I know who that character
like
is
an
based
actual,
off of, actually.
like a graduation gown. You mean?
Yeah, yeah. So me in that outfit and Andy in like the little boy sailor outfit with the dunce cap on.
I will definitely have to do that next stream.
Yes.
So I can't quite remember, and I'm sure somebody will know because we are a knowledgeable bunch, autistically. There was a character back in like the black and white era who was like a professor, but he was a professor in music.
Yeah, I know who you're
And he
talking
said-
about. I can't remember his name.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to teach you how to jive.
Is that kind of professor, huh?
Yeah, basically.
All right, so we are going to actually go into a different time mode because I feel like making this triplety. There we go. Okay. So earlier we had El Ralphie No Pants insisting to us that B flat was the best key. So B flat it shall be. Or rather, G minor. The relative minor of B flat major. Okay, so who here in the audience is familiar with Lady Red's Shoal?
I mean, our drawing show. I've been on there once, I believe.
But namely the setting that she and the audience have been creating, Shoal.
Oh, the setting. Not super familiar with it.
Okay. The world is aquatic. That's going to be one of our key themes. And there are also mechs and machines of war in it. It is
Yeah.
an ancient world, let us say, with ruins and the like. So for now, those are going to be kind of our three inspirational points. Ancient world, machines of war, water world.
Sounds like a good starting point.
Yeah, we're looking for entrancing, intriguing, mysterious, epic.
The two or three inspirations I would think is the underwater theme in Final Fantasy VII, the underwater theme from Donkey Kong, and maybe the underwater theme from like Zelda. And yes, I know I'm pulling from video games.
Mm-hmm. Well, no, that's perfectly fine. Video games is our common language here.
Yeah.
Well, let's figure out our speed.
I mean, I think usually water music is kind of like supposed to feel either bubbly or muffled, like as if the song itself is being played through, a thick layer of water that's like.
Hmm. Lower our speed.
Almost makes me think of Halloween.
I can see it. It reminds me of the X Files.
That's the mysterious.
Now I'm getting a Genova vibe, or Super Chief said he heard "Children" by Robert Miles there for a second.
Yeah.
Not familiar with that one.
Let's turn that down on speed.
It kind of makes me think of how like people are like, "Oh, I make music for video games." People are like, "Oh, well, yeah." It's like, this is great shit right here.
Yeah. I
As
mean,
a matter of fact,
whoever talks like video game music isn't good has no sense of music then.
well, I'm sure video game music has inspired a lot of people. Like,
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. There's a reason the Halo soundtrack is like one of my favorites.
like people going to,
Okay, so we have a ostinato there, which is a fancy musical way of saying a repeating pattern. Now we're going to build on that ostinato.
ostinato, baby.
Going up too high. So, one way to think about it, like, there are many of you in this audience that are well aware of what would we call it? D&D. And I'm about to make a weird metaphor here, but those of you who've played D&D understand that there's different, like, music, or not music, there's different kinds of magic, such as divine magic, arcane magic, etc. There's also prepared magic and spontaneous. I am very much a spontaneous caster. I'm a musical sorcerer, not a musical wizard. I don't entirely know what I'm doing half the time, much like Mad Ducks with his cooking. And yet, I know what I'm doing.
I understand that very well.
Lord Troa just said all audio black magic to me.
Yep.
I've messed with audio stuff, but it's been years. I think the last time I really did was high school. It gets pretty interesting.
Okay, so here we have our opening. Too much. But it's getting there. So what are you guys working on right now?
Well, currently I am playing Phantom Brigade, but I was working on a logo for myself because long story short, I'm putting together like a brand for myself, and we don't need to make a website and things. So I'm starting to work on that with this logo, which I share it on if you want to post it on stream, but
Yeah.
sure. Give me 1 sec, I'll send it to you.
Pay attention.
Keep cutting out there, bud.
You okay, Andy?
I don't know.
I said I'm trying to pay attention and not, let my mind wander, and it's a losing battle. I'm like,
Yep, fair.
because I'll hear something and it'll make me think of something, and then that thought will like kind of siren its way down a path, and I'm like, oh yeah, I remember Sequest. That was a weird show. Wait a minute, I'm supposed to be paying attention. To be honest, the best way and only way to get me to pay attention is to let me have my hands on it, like...
Oh, yeah. And I think once we get the DAW set up for you, you'll be able to start messing with this stuff on your own. And then when you come back here, suddenly you may get it just a little more each time.
Well, there is that one project I'd love to do. It's
Is it the one you told us about?
Mixed Duel of the Fates and Sephiroth's theme together.
Yeah, Duel of the Fates, One Winged Angel, and actually the other one I wanted to do is Navaros. Yeah, Super Chief, get your sexy ass in here. Sorry, I didn't see that till now.
Super Chief!
I'm here. What's up?
You are always lay invite, especially on music.
All right. Okay. So, yes. Hello. Welcome. Party.
Yeah.
Super Chief, what do you know about music and composition?
Everything I know, I am somewhat self-taught, with the occasional band or like occasional piano class here and there. I love music to death, so I just learn. Like I immediately have Super Storm.
Yeah.
Low, double bass and cello harmonized in bass for these bass parts eventually.
Yeah.
Like a slightly, it gets a little louder, but it drones. It keeps that bottom end.
Yeah.
going. Also, I do have another question for you, Storm.
Yeah.
What is the thought process for the when you're doing the ostinato, the change in the ostinato, that jump to what is it?
The A6
Like
here?
that. Yeah, more or less the melody line, but like the middle line that you jump up to that specific that set of that chord right there.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what's the thought process to it? I'm trying to read it because I can read sheet music, but my relative pitch and stuff is still not the greatest.
Okay, so I'm going to expand this because obviously it can be kind of hard to see.
Yeah, we got it.
So let's just take that section in isolation.
Yeah. That jump right there.
So that is a change from. So you'll notice that I created a chord progression beneath, right?
Right, correct. Yeah,
and-
that changes the harmony.
Yeah, and so because the A joined with the A here is in key, as is the F.
Octave.
When you join with the G, it becomes a G ninth chord. So you're creating kind of a tense chord, but not an ugly chord. And then you have A and F, which layer perfectly because they're the relative first and relative sixth to one another.
Yeah.
And looks like Diggs is in chat as well.
Sweet, right back.
And then
But you already have an F up here.
yeah, but then you get to here, and this section, because it's going to hit E, what you're going to run into is E and F, which are going to be competing.
Right.
What's the word I'm looking for? Neighbor tones.
They go
in order to give this more of a cadence, where it's not just the same chord over and over again, and to alleviate that neighboring tone, send it to the relative fifth.
Okay.
So the dominant, and then back to tonic.
Okay. All right.
So that's the logic there.
Okay. So I'm trying to something. I don't know. Something in there is speaking to me somewhere, like telling me something. I can't quite put my finger on what it is.
Well, and it's because it doesn't resolve yet. It'll resolve once we hit the next section.
Right.
I'm suspending the audience because it's never going back to ACE. It's going back to this AFE, where it's sort of still messing with those neighboring tones.
Where's my keyword? Grab it.
And so now it's basically I'm keeping the question mark here.
What about doing like something like a perfect fourth to make it like not fully resolved, but just like a little weird? I don't know, like fourths.
Oh, so take it to the fourth instead. So let's go.
Like let's get a little weird with it.
Yeah.
See if that works. Maybe not every single time, but definitely like.
And actually, yeah, that creates just a little bit of variety there.
And it's not resolved either. It's still tension. Yeah, that's what I was hearing.
And then we're going to hit a resolution here.
Right. Sweet.
Let me alter this melody just a little bit.
Mode. Oh, Ginger's asking about modes. We're in trouble now.
Well, actually, I can answer that because I'm trying to remember the proper name of this mode. This is, I want to say this is Dorian. No, this is Lydian.
Oh, I love all that. I love modes. I don't know too much. Like I know how to find them, but like they're just funky, man.
Yeah. So to explain to the audience what we mean by that is there's some trickery going on here where we're composing this in A minor at the moment just because that's a easy one where I don't have to pay too much attention to flats and sharps. But I will probably be adjusting it to a key more completely suited.
Right.
But the way a mode works, just for the audience's
Excuse me.
sake and for Crispy and Andy's sake here, is let's say I'm in A minor, so I'm in the scale of A minor and I'm using that scaling, but I choose to treat, say, like F as my center of gravity rather than the A itself, even though I remain in A's key. Or I choose to make E the center of gravity. That's what we're talking about when we're talking about modal scales.
Right. For instance, the if you start at F in A minor, you're in Lydian sharp 2.
Yeah.
Because we're in minor modes, which get weird addendums to them.
Yeah. Long story short, we are. This kind of thing would be the equivalent of changing color palette, or rather, taking what is the primary color on a color palette and the secondary color on a color palette and temporarily swapping them,
Yeah.
but in a musical fashion.
Also, yeah, a lot of the mode for videos for modes I like is from 8-Bit Music Theory.
Yeah.
Is a pretty good one. Fun, like it's bite sized, not super detailed, but they also give you video game music to listen to examples. So it's pretty easy to like, oh, that's what that sounds like.
Yeah. And I typically do Phrygian mode if I'm doing any modal stuff, because unless I'm doing something like this where I'm not theorizing as I'm doing this here, I'm doing more musical sorcery than wizardry. I'm conjuring this music rather than designing it. Though I am doing some designing. If I'm being more designed, I tend to use Phrygian because that's how you get that kind of Arabic or flamenco sound. Okay, so we're gonna.
David Bennett.
What were you saying, Chief?
Ginger was mentioning David Bennett stuff to get a handle on theory again. Yeah, his stuff's pretty straightforward as well.
Yep.
For like learning, this chord progressions and pop songs and whatnot. Which I find is a very good way to learn how things sound. Is learn it with songs you know and like.
Also, Happy New Year's to everyone. And it looks like
Yes.
somebody was mentioning something.
I will be right back. I gotta take some medicine.
So, UNC, I do not know yet. I know that the plan is to try to release, what's it called? The Black Knight either tonight or tomorrow. But mum's the word until Crow basically gives us the it is done. Oh, I muted myself.
I return.
This is where we're gonna get a little more like what Andy was saying with like water temple sounding, which is gonna be long sustained. So there, I'm now starting to mess with non-standard chords, such as a flattened second and a flattened. In this area, melody is going to be bypassed more for chordal progression because we're now going in atmosphere mode. Ever so briefly.
Wash everything in pads.
Yeah. And then a bigger melody will expand out of this at some point. This is where we're going to get into some pipe organs and shit. Oh, thank you, Delta. And this is going to be arranged in different instruments eventually. Yeah, Whooshie Pads is probably the right thing, kind of that title feeling. And then I'm probably going to kind of revisit the ostinato a little bit. Actually, no, I'm going to create a second ostinato. And get that building before we revisit the first one, and that one is when the pipe organ's going to come in and get all Davy Jones on us. Water break, everyone. Hey, Chocobo.
What? Like that.
Are you gonna put a Jaws theme in there?
It sounds like it a little bit, doesn't it?
Playing with the audience a little bit that way. And if you guys have any thoughts, feel free to voice them, because like I said, I go into them.
Oh, I totally get that, man. Nothing at the moment stands out, I suppose.
Man, I'm just here. I'm helping out when I can. When it speaks.
Yay.
It speaks to my soul.
You know, when the concept of harmony and melody and things sounding right goes away, you really are free to make the music that you wish to make.
Thank you, Werner Herzog.
A very
My
12 tone.
name is Giovanni Giorgio, but everyone calls me Giorgio.
Was that a JoJo's Bizarre reference?
No, have you not heard that song, dude?
No.
Giorgio by Giorgio Moroder by Daft Punk.
No, I have not heard that.
Okay, good song. It has an interview with Giorgio Moroder at the beginning, who is a very famous electronic guy. Some call him the father of disco. He did a ton of Donna Summer songs, like, you know, Hot Stuff, Bad Girls, like that. He produced that. He did the soundtrack for Top Gun and Flashdance and where is it? Oh, Scarface.
Very interesting.
Like, if you look at this guy's like discography, he's worked with everybody. He helped write Danger Zone and Take My Breath Away, right?
Yeah.
Push it to the limit.
Yes, we are having fun yet. We are creating.
Bunch of Blondie songs.
For
Yes.
for anyone joining in, we are discussing obscure composers and conducting music or creating music for, hopefully, for Shoal, for Lady Red.
You know, speaking of composers in Daft Punk, I need to find the classical orchestra piece that I think it's one of the two guys did a classical album like for like an opera or something recently.
Yeah.
From Daft Punk. I forget if it's Guy Manuel or
Gila douche.
Guy
Gila douche.
It's Thomas Bangalter. That's his name. Thomas.
Ah,
It's Bangalter. He did a
it's a hell of a name.
like a ballet in 2022. He wrote music for a ballet.
We're going to create a new ostinato here. Same chord progression.
Killed. Let me put my bass up.
Ooh, that's going to mess with the E. So those of you who are more rhythmically inclined and are paying close attention may notice that I went from a triplet to a non-triplet, but in tango, which are almost identical, if but for a slight shift of number of beats. Hear it more if I turn the metronome on. It's going to make the audience uneasy. Fine as we start this build. We don't want that to last too long, because that can wear out its welcome. Yep, we are definitely getting a little piratey here.
Yar.
Here's all the go on.
Storm, turn those last sets of notes into 30-second notes. Just subdivide them just for funsies. I just want to hear what it sounds like.
Oh god,
We have achieved grindcore.
Yeah. That's fun. You know, if you do that fast enough, it'll actually change pitch.
Yep. Okay, so we're probably not going to compose the next part quite yet, because we'll overdo it, but let's do sort of a sample idea how this will start. This will not be the exact same way it'll go, but a new version of the original Ostinato will start here. Okay, so let's hear that from the beginning. It'll probably be heavy strings on the low end, and the upper end it'll be something like a harp or like music box style bells. Sort of kind of very oceanic pads in the back.
Yeah. Like that.
Probably add a little bit of melody stings here without a full consistent melody. And then kind of focus on oceanic noise.
Perfect.
Add in the percussion, that'll give us more of a solidified feel. But this will be a much heavier version of this rhythm now. There'll be percussion going here and such. Yep, and that's going to be somewhat dependent on the the arrangement and the instrumentation. And we'll probably do a soft call out here.
Yep.
Like proceeds. I think overall this will be about a 3-minute piece.
All right.
We'll remove that as a theoretical for right now. I'll actually work on this some throughout the week, and then next week we'll start on arranging.
Oh yeah, putting different instruments together.
Exactly.
That's cool.
And my plan is, as this becomes a consistent or semi-consistent stream, that we actually, because I do these little musical projects now and then on my streams, but those have always been divided by weeks at a time or months at a time. I've never actually finished a lot of them. So the goal here is to actually start finishing these and then be like, hey, look, Lady Red, I gave you a theme song. Hey, look, Will, I gave you a theme song. Hey, look.
Exactly.
And then plans on getting, like, say, Maestro in here, Goat in here at different times. All the stuff.
Oh yeah, for sure. That also reminds me, I have a musical project I need to finish, which is fixing my project guitar.
Yes.
A lot of things on the to-do list.
Oh my god, I am so... My partner and I spent a good chunk of Christmas break, well, like, just a day, but we set aside a day, and all we did was we tuned my drum set, lay perfect.
Oh yeah.
And then repositioned all the microphones in the recording room to lay perfection. And then adjusted everything, all the gain knobs to lay perfection. And so now I can just, like, turn on my computer, go in, record drums, and go back to bed.
Nice.
Right, and not have to worry about my mic sound. Oh, room sounds off. Oh no, it's 3 cents sharp.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So yep, everyone gird their loins for the Black Knight. It's coming here, and we sincerely hope you all have a good evening.
Yes.
Thank you, gents, all for coming and joining me on this maiden voyage of
Glad it could be here.
Songs with Storm. And we will continue next week. I think. Oh, right, and stick around for Bionic Babe.
We.
All right, we'll see you, gents, all later.
Later.
Bye.
Well.
Allergic.
And remember, Chocobo bacon is the best bacon. Ah!